Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to Transcend with Dr. Earl Hall. Blessings to you, in you, and all around you. Today, it's really interesting to me how people put blocks in the way of their vision. And, I had a coaching call recently with one of my clients. And the reason that it was so interesting is because this lovely young woman out of Great Britain, she had a clear vision, a very clear vision of what she wanted to accomplish. And the thing that kind of makes it really interesting for me is many of you probably don't know, or maybe you do, that I'm a voiceover artist and I'm a coach to voiceover artists to help them build their businesses. So the interesting thing about this call that I had is that this lovely young woman from Great Britain laid out to me a clear vision of what it is that she wanted to accomplish in her life, how she wanted to inspire and help people and get them to a place where they wanted to be. She laid out a vision of a podcast, of, maybe even some YouTube videos and things of that nature. But the thing was, we were on this call because she was interested in doing voiceover. And so as I'm listening to her lay out her vision, one of the things that came out for me is, why are you putting doing voiceover in front of this grand, this great, this beautiful vision that you laid out for me? And so many times people do this. They know the thing that they're meant to do. They know the great grand vision that they're supposed to be living out in their life. But for some reason, they're putting this wall in between where they are now and where they want to be. And it was so impactful to me. And instead of obviously trying to get her to do voiceover, I realized that that wasn't the thing that she really wanted to do. So I said, why are we talking about this? Why are we not talking about this grand vision? Why are you waiting? I think she had said she had a 12-year plan. And I'm like, oh my God, you can start this today. There's no wall here. And so many times when I'm talking with people, when I'm consulting them or mentoring them, you really have to figure out if you're putting things in the way of your vision. I mean, putting stumbling blocks, putting walls in front of what it is that you actually want to do. That vision that you have of your future, if you have one, that is the thing that you should be going after every minute that you have breath. Because that is the thing that is going to define you. And it is the thing that God has put there for you to do, to give your gifts to the world. Now, I understand that so many times people think that they're smaller than their vision. And quite honestly, I'm sure that you are. I'm sure that Martin Luther King didn't think that he was supposed to do what he did, but he did it. I'm sure Mother Teresa didn't really think she was supposed to be as big as she was, but she walked the path that was put before her. And the thing about that grand vision that you have for your life, believe me, this is how you know if that vision that you have is for you to do. One of the greatest things you can understand is that if that thing terrifies you, if that vision makes you uncomfortable, if you share your vision with others and they look at you like you're crazy, it's probably the thing that you were put on the planet to do. So why do we put all of these stumbling blocks in front of us? One of them is fear. One of them is not knowing the path to take. But here's the thing. When you have that grand vision, all you have to do is have that grand vision. Don't worry about filling in the pieces. Don't worry about the steps that you should take. It will be revealed to you. All that's required of you is to hear that voice, that small, still voice that is just going to say, go this way. No, don't do that. Okay, this is the direction you ought to take. If you have an ear to hear, you will hear. And you're meant to hear because that is your grand vision. A lot of times our past gets in the way, We think about mistakes that we've made. We go back to childhood traumas, the things that we've endured as teens or as young adults. Those things that we haven't got past and got over are some of those things that are defining who you are today. But your past does not define ever who you are. Your past does not equate to the future that you will have. But so many times people continue to live in the past and draw energy from the mistakes, the hurts, the pain, the fears of the past. Those are the things that have to be gotten over. And quite honestly, those hurts, pains, fears, traumas, those are the things that made you into who you are. Those are the things that will help you with the vision that you have for your future. It's been your making. I'll never forget one of my mentors, one of my pastors from 30 years ago, Elder Carruthers. He's passed on now. And I remember when I was going through certain things, and I just didn't understand why I was going through them, or, because I was trying to do the right things and these things weren't happening right. And one thing he said to me, and I've held on to this forever since he said it. Whenever I was going through something and I was just distraught, I was down and out, he would say to me, "It's for your making, son. It's for your making." And I look at all the things that I've gone through in my life, and I want you to look at the things that you've gone through your life that you count as bad, that you count as awful, that you count as destructive. And I want you to start saying that all of that was to make you into the person that you're meant to be, so that you can carry out the vision for your future. Don't turn your back on greatness because you don't think you're good enough yet. That's not even right thinking. You have experienced the things that you have experienced so that you can fulfill the vision that you have to the world. And I've said many times before, how dare you? How dare you not walk in the grand vision that you have? If you don't walk in the vision that you have, how many people are not going to be blessed by it? How many people are not going to get the answers they need because you're scared to walk in your vision, and you literally have the answers because it's your vision, it's your goal, it's what you were put on the planet to do. Never put stumbling blocks in your way. So many times we do busy work instead of doing the actual thing that we need to do, and we count that as, oh, well, I got to get this done. I got to do this. I got to do that. And you're putting all of these roadblocks, walls, and everything else in the way of you accomplishing the things you need to accomplish. If I had allowed or entertained the conversation with that beautiful young woman from Great Britain about going into voiceover instead of walking in her vision, I would have deterred her from her vision. And there was nothing standing in the way of her accomplishing her vision and start walking that path right now. She wrote me a really great testimonial, and I think I'm going to put it in the show notes for this note so you guys can see what she actually said about the conversation she had with me. But this is what I want to encourage you with. Do that thing that scares you. Believe me, it's what you're meant to do. I want to thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Transcend with yours truly, Dr. Earl B. Hall. Make sure you do visit the website, www.drearlbhall.com. I'll see you next time. Blessings to you, in you, and all around you.